This presentation is a comparison of how the Belleville Library Tax Levy is distributed amongst taxpayers both inside and outside of TIF districts. For this presentation, we will be comparing two identical homes located side by side, one within a TIF district and one outside of any TIF district. When a TIF is created, the fair market value of the homes are used to set the tax base. For this example, we'll say that in 1986, the homes had a fair market value of $39,000. In 1986, the fair market value of all properties was used to calculate the tax base. As time passes, the value of the homes increase. The home inside the TIF will keep the 1986 fair market value as the tax base, with the increased value of $63,000 being used to fund the TIF, whereas the home outside of the TIF will use the entire $102,000 fair market value when calculating the tax base. In 2011, the tax base includes the full value of homes outside of the TIF, but only the 1986 base value of those homes within the TIF district. Here's a pie chart showing the 2011 total equalized value of all property within the library district. Separated out is the increase in property value used to fund the TIF. Note that the entire district has an equalized value of $631 million, but a tax levy base of only $435 million. Each year, the library board meets and determines the amount of money they need to operate for the following year. This amount is called the tax levy request. For the 2011 tax year, the library board set the levy request at $1,185,000. To calculate the tax levy rate, we take the tax levy request divided by the tax levy base. This is the total taxable value of all homes in the district. Taking the library board's levy request of $1,185,000 divided by the tax levy base of $434,537,205 yields a tax levy rate of 0.2728 per 100 equalized value. Let's create a spreadsheet to show how this rate is used to calculate the taxes paid for the home outside of the TIF district. Starting with the fair market value of $102,000, the equalized assessor's value is computed by taking 1/3 for a figure of $34,000. Owner-occupied homes are eligible for a $6,000 exemption, bringing the taxable amount to $28,000. Taking the taxable amount and multiply by the library rate of 0.2728 per 100 gives this homeowner a library tax of $76.38. Let's move this over to the side so we can show how the taxes are calculated for the home within the TIF district. The first thing to do is create two columns and split the total fair market value. In the first column, we'll put the 1986 tax levy base of $39,000. The second column is for the $63,000 increase in property value used to fund the TIF. Just as before, the assessor's value is 1/3 of the fair market value. The $6,000 owner-occupied exemption is deducted from the 1986 base to get a taxable amount of $7,000. Multiplying these amounts by the library levy rate of 0.2728 yields taxes of $19.09 for the library and $57.29 for the TIF. It should be noted that by adding these taxes together, you will see that both homeowners pay the same amount in taxes. Now let's go back to the library levy request and pretend that there are no TIF districts. the Library Board would still set the levy request at $1,185,000. The difference here is that the entire tax base of $631 million is used in the calculation of the tax levy rate. Doing the math yields a tax rate of 0.1878 per hundred. Now back to the spreadsheet. If we apply this rate to the taxable amount of both homes, we see that both homeowners would have paid an equal library tax of $52.58. What this means is that because of the TIF, both homeowners paid an additional $23.80 in taxes. This example focused only on the Belleville Library taxes. To calculate the total amount TIFs cause each homeowner to overpay, you'd have to apply these calculations for each taxing body listed on their tax bill. Visit the St. Clair County Clerk's website for the tax computation report used in this example and to get the figures for other taxing bodies. As this example illustrates, homeowners both inside and outside of TIF districts pay the same amount in additional taxes caused by the creation of TIF districts. During the 2011 tax year, TIFs were funded with $17.6 million from property taxes and $2.7 million from sales taxes. Due to the maximum allowable tax levy rates, some schools are unable to receive their full tax levy request. This problem is caused due to the increased property values being used to fund the TIFs. The city made an agreement with the school districts to rebate this lost revenue from the TIF accounts. In 2011, the total amount given from the TIFs to the schools was $6.5 million. This brings the yearly TIF revenue to about $13.8 million. The city will lose this revenue when all TIFs are allowed to expire. Yet, it should be noted that the city does have the option of raising its own tax levy request to compensate for the reduced revenue.